is it. Give me the map. Okay, so it's within sight of the ocean. It's on the largest beach.
Okay.
It's not within 2 paces of a tree.
Okay.
And it's not next to a statue.
Okay.
That only leaves one place.
How did you deduce?
Right there!
We're gonna be famous.
We? What do you mean we? I'm the treasure hunter, you're the assistant, there is no we!
You wouldn't have even found that if I didn't trip over it.
Are you kidding me?
No.
My name is Jason Probst. I'm the greatest treasure hunter that ever lived. Children will be reading about my name in history books for generations to come. Monuments will be erected. Oh.
Shut up. What? What?
Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Dice Camera Action. My name is John Bove, and today I'm going to be reviewing Tobago. Tobago comes from Rio Grande Games and is a game for 2 to 4 players. In the game, you and your friends compete to collect the most treasure. It takes about just under an hour to play. Let's go ahead and take a look at the components. Tobago comes with a rulebook, a setup guide and clue reference sheet, a 6-part board, 68 wooden cubes or site markers, 4 ATVs, 52 clue cards, 41 treasure cards, including 2 curse cards, 21 amulets, 4 huts, 3 palm trees, 3 statues, and 60 multicolored compass roses. The board in Tobago is really vivid and sturdy. Most of the components are made of wood and are really good quality. The statues even have a nice texture. The only issue people might have is that the cards are a bit small. I have to say, the box insert is really nice and makes putting the game away super easy. Now let's go ahead and take a look at how to set up the game. To set up Tobago, first combine the 3 large board sections any way you want. Note that the sides with capital letters have more island spaces. Then lock in the 3 smaller board pieces and place the corresponding decks and tokens on those spaces. There is a total of 32 different islands you can make with the board. Place the huts, palm trees, and statues anywhere on the island with the following rules. Each space can contain only 1 object, objects of the same type must be placed at least 4 spaces apart, and finally statues may not be placed directly next to the ocean. Now, shuffle the 39 treasure cards that make up the treasure deck. Then, shuffle the 2 curse cards into the lower 27 cards of that deck. Next, each player places an ATV on any space on the island, and takes the compass roses of their color. Then, shuffle the clue card deck. Each player now draws 1 card from the clue deck and places it on an empty treasure area along with one of their compass roses. Finally, deal each player 4 cards, or 6 cards in a 2-player game. Now that we have the game set up, let's take a look at how to play. On your turn you have 2 options, either move your ATV or play a clue card. When you play a clue card, you are decreasing the amount of possible spaces where a treasure could be located, until it is ultimately found. Let's take a look at some of the clue cards. This clue card shows that the treasure is not on a beach. This one shows that it is within 2 spaces of a palm tree. And this one shows that it is next to the largest scrubland. Once you know a couple clue cards, you know them all. The colored cubes are used to represent the possible location of one of the treasures. You place the cubes on the board when there are enough cubes to mark every possible spot. As you play more clue cards, cubes are taken off the board. When there is only 1 cube remaining for a certain color, that treasure has been found, and can be raised. Clue cards can be placed on any treasure with the following rules. New clues cannot contradict old clues already on a treasure. Clues must reduce the possible treasure site by at least 1 site. And finally, clues must allow at least 1 site where the treasure could still be hidden. Treasures can't just disappear. Make sure you place one of your compass roses on the clue card you played, then always draw back up to 4 cards. Now let's discuss movement. You can move your ATV up to 3 legs. Moving anywhere within a terrain counts as 1 leg. Changing terrains also counts as one leg. Here's an example. The blue player moves one leg to the end of the lake, switches terrain to the scrubland for his second leg, then moves here with his third leg. Now let's talk about raising treasure, which you can do when only one site marker remains for any treasure. Raising a treasure does not count against your turn action. First, you must be on the same space as the last site marker. Moving to a treasure ends your movement action. Place one of your compass roses under the bottom clue card of that treasure. Now deal treasure cards to each player who has compass roses on this treasure equal to the number of compass roses they have. Then mix together all those treasure cards along with one extra drawn from the deck that no one can see. Now draw the top card of the mixed cards and offer it one by one up the list to each person with a compass rose. The first person to accept the treasure takes it and removes the appropriate compass rose. Continue until all treasure has been distributed or discarded. Whoever received a treasure last will start a new treasure by placing a new clue card under the treasure pile, along with one of their compass roses, and of course, they draw back up to 4. Remember those 2 curse cards we shuffled in? Well, raising a treasure is when they come into play. When distributing treasure, if a curse is revealed, anyone who still has compass roses under the treasure must discard their most valuable gold, or alternatively, discard an amulet. Again, whoever received treasure last will start the new treasure. If no one received treasure because of the curse, whoever raised the treasure starts a new one. After starting a new treasure, place one amulet on the coast across from every statue, then rotate each statue 60 degrees clockwise. Let's talk about amulets now. You can discard as many amulets as you want on a turn to use one of their powers. They can be used to remove any one site marker, play an extra clue card, take another movement action, that's all 3 legs, protect you from a curse, and finally, exchange all of your clue cards for new ones. You can actually do this without an amulet by giving up your entire turn. Note that when picking up an amulet on the board, you must end one leg of movement to collect it. And those are the rules for Tobago. Let's go through an example turn now. It's the red player's turn. She will play a clue card on the black treasure, which leaves only 2 spots left. It's now Blue's turn. Blue uses one leg of his movement to move onto an amulet. He then uses his second leg to move onto a site marker. He discards the amulet to remove one of the site markers, causing him to be on the treasure space. He happily raises the treasure, putting one of his compass roses at the bottom of the black treasure. It's time to go through the treasure distribution process. Yellow has 1 compass rose on the treasure, so she takes 1 treasure card. Blue has 2, so he takes 2, and red has 1, so she takes 1. They look at their treasure cards and mix them together along with one from the deck that none of them have seen. Now they flip over the top card, and one by one go up the line offering that treasure. Blue declines the first treasure. Red also declines it. Blue declines again, but yellow decides to keep it and removes her compass rose. The next card is flipped over, and all is repeated until all treasure has been distributed or discarded. And that's Tobago. The game has a lot of interesting and unique mechanics. It definitely has a great theme and awesome components. However, I find that it's missing that fun factor, and this may be because I have trouble determining what strategy is actually useful in the game. I often wonder if it's not advantageous to simply play a clue card every turn and never move your ATV, because you're going to be getting treasure anyway. I think it's an interesting game with a lot of good ideas. I definitely recommend it for families because it's easy to learn, and yet adults will still have fun with it too. Suggested retail is about $55, but you can get it for $35 on Amazon. Of course, I always recommend supporting your local game store whenever possible. Tobago has a lot going for it, and maybe a game you want to check out. Well, that's all I have for today, gamers. Thank you so much for watching. Check the description below for a link to my Facebook, Google+, Twitter, email, and Board Game Geek collection. As always, let me know what games you want to see reviewed. Until next time.